There, Knuckleheads. It's been a bit. I've been on vacation. On vacation, I was out on the East Coast and had the opportunity to try an authentic Halifax Donair. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know I did a Donair video. It was one of my early videos. But now, after actually having the real thing, I think I can do better. So we're going to do it again. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to take 2 pounds of extra lean ground beef. And we're going to drop them in the blender. If you have a stand mixer, it actually works better. I do not. To this, we are going to add, by the way, guys, the beef needs to come right out of the fridge. It's got to be cold. Okay, now we're going to add our spices. It's a tablespoon of coriander, 2 tablespoons of onion powder, 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, 2 tablespoons of oregano, and 1 tablespoon of black pepper. We're going to throw all that in. We are also going to add 2.5 teaspoons of salt. Now, the recipe calls for a 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I like my stuff hot. So we're actually going to go with Troy's Hot Sauce Experience Ashes. This is a smoke-infused pepper mix. All right, and this is a 1/2 teaspoon in place of cayenne pepper. Now we're going to put our lid on, and we're going to set this to blend. Guys, the blender caught fire. That's not the way you want to do that. So instead, we're going to put it in a bowl. What we're trying to do here is emulsify everything. Okay, so you don't want that ground beef texture anymore. You almost want it liquefied. The reason we're doing this is because the Donair meat needs to be really dense. So we're trying to get all of the air out of it. We're just going to get in here with our hands instead. Okay, so I have been hand squishing this for about 5 or 6 minutes now. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get rid of that ground beef texture. Right, we want this smooth. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our meat and we are going to transfer it into a parchment paper lined pan. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to press it all down. And we're going to get it all nice and even. So now we're going to take another piece of parchment paper. We're going to lay that over the top. We're going to take a similar size pan. And we're going to press down as hard as we can. We're trying to get as much of the air out of this as we possibly can. We want this dense. Pull it off, check it. Some of the beef pushed up around the sides, so I'm just rolling that back down. Now, once we've got everything pressed down, we want to keep it that way. So I'm going to add some weight. And I'm going to add a lot of weight. Okay, because we want to keep that pressure on it. Now we're going to go into our preheated oven. The oven is preheated at 350 degrees. And we're going to put it in there for about 90 minutes. Okay, so while our Donair meat is cooking, let's make the sauce. So we're going to take 1 can of evaporated milk. All right, 3/4 cup of white sugar, 3 teaspoons of garlic powder, and then we are going to mix all of that up. And once we're done whisking everything together, this last step is really important. We are going to add very slowly 6 tablespoons of white vinegar. Okay, but we're going to do this over the course of a few minutes. And we are not going to stir this. Okay, so what I've done is I added 2 tablespoons of vinegar every minute for 3 minutes. And now we're going to let it sit for another 3 minutes. What we're trying to do here is get the milk to slightly curdle. All right, guys, so it's been 3 minutes. You can hear my timer going off in the background. We're going to give this just a light stir, kind of blend everything together. All right, it's getting good and thick, which is what we want. Now we're going to take our squeeze bottle and our funnel. All right, we're going to put this in the fridge to cool. All right, Knuckleheads, so we had our Donair meat in for about 90 minutes. Now I've taken it out and I've let it rest for about 15 just to let all the juices soak back in. Now what we're going to do is we are going to take it out of the pan. We're going to slice it nice and thin. And then traditionally you serve it in a pita. I'm actually going to use some of my homemade naan bread. You guys have, there is another recipe for that, the video for it. Now guys, you can top these any way you want. The traditional method is tomato and onion. So that's what we're going to use. Just going to dice up a tomato. And some onion. All right, let's make this up. So we're going to take some slices of Donair meat, a little bit of tomato, and again, you can top this any way you want, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to do it traditionally. And some diced up onion, and our homemade Donair sauce from earlier. Going to give that a generous squirt. And then we're going to wrap her up. Let's give it a test. Yep. Yeah, that's what I had in Halifax. That is so awesome. Guys, it's easy. It takes some prep time, but the flavor is amazing. I want to give a shout out again to my buddy Troy Power, Troy's Hot Sauce Experience. This is his Ashes smoked pepper mix, which I used in place of the cayenne pepper. Gave it a little bit of extra kick. Loving it. Okay, guys, this took a long time to cook. Like I said, it's worth it, but I'm hungry. So I'm going to go eat. Everybody, be good to each other. I love you. Thanks for tuning in.